On the platform of an Amtrak station, passengers wait as the conductor verifies tickets and destinations. Like the order of a Catholic Mass on any given Sunday, the order of an Amtrak boarding is pretty much the same in any town. Moms and babies, older folks, disabled passengers getting special help from the conductor, luggage going on board. And finally, the signal that train number 90, the Palmetto, is leaving Tampa. This consist may seem odd today with no diner and no sleeping cars, but this is how the Palmetto looked in summer of 2003. The Palmetto has since been replaced with the Silver Star into Tampa. This is how Tampa Union Station looked then, too. The passenger canopies in desperate need of refurbishment. Concrete bus blocks still guarded the depot from truncated tracks 4 and 5. The shed at 5 at 6 still has knob and tube electric lines from the 1920s. The shed that actually serves trains in Tampa was rehabilitated in 2011 and now does a nice job welcoming train riders to Tampa. There are dozens of old railroad stations in Florida, some still in service, most not. At Fernandina, the SAL station, built for David U. Lee's Florida Railroad, still serves as a visitor center. The Fernandina Depot is unlike others on the seaboard because it's so much older. The only other one like it around here is in Callahan. In 2005, CSX was still working at Fernandina. The town's 2 mills and port kept things pretty busy. CSX has since leased the Fernandina operations to the First Coast Railroad. This is one of the few spots where a hotel room provides a great rail fanning vantage point. This is the Hampton Inn looking down on the depot. A Sunday drive out CSX's Brooker sub in north central Florida finds many old depots. The station at Brooker still stands with its asbestos shingles. It doesn't have much distinction, but we know Brooker is an SAL facility. We're at milepost N693.7 on Seaboard's 1E sub, now the CSX Brooker sub to Newberry and Crystal River. Move a little further south and west and you find La Crosse. I couldn't find a railroad station, but this building caught my eye. La Crosse must have been a center of commerce at one time. Of note is the crossing protection. I don't think I've ever seen a one-track sign before. The Seaboard 1E sub crossed the JS&W just north of Burnett's Lake. Following the SCL merger, the 1E sub was reworked to come into Burnett's Lake from the north. The coastline leaves to the south toward Newberry. There's not much at Burnett's Lake now. Technically, this is the city of Alachua. Further south on the Brooker sub, the old ACL depot office still stands at Newberry. Firmly in coastline territory, Newberry traces its roots to the Cummer Brothers, Jacksonville and Southwestern, coming in from Baldwin, Lake Butler, and Burnett's Lake, and Henry Plant's Savannah, Florida, and Western from DuPont, Georgia, and High Springs, Florida. Running west from the depot is Remnant Line Florida West Coast Railroad. It's ex-ACL to Wilcox and the famous Perry Cutoff. Some of FWC's rolling stock is still here. Henry Plant's SF&W from High Springs is in its final days. A bad-ordered coal hopper has been cut out and stored here for the weekend, right on what was ACL's main freight route into Central Florida. No more. Also curious, to me anyway, is how a seaboard switch target got into a coastline-only town. Part of Newberry's rails are still busy, carrying coal trains to Progress Energy's plant at Crystal River. From Newberry south, the line is leased to Pensley's Florida Northern Railroad. The Atlantic Coastline milepost still marks Newberry Junction. We're at R730. This was once part of the same route that ran from Lakeland, Florida to Vitus to Trilby and High Springs. The number embossed on the backside notes the distance from Savannah, Georgia. 10 miles south is Archer. No depot here anymore, but there was at one time a station that served both ACL and the seaboard. The SAL crossed here on its way from Waldo to Sulphur Springs, the seaboard's back door into Tampa. The two railroads paralleled each other into Williston, too. The seaboard, right downtown, apparently thought enough of Williston to build one of its classic Spanish-influenced stations. Same architecture as found at Sebring and Avon Park. The coastline was just east of town, the familiar ACL design now serving a non-plant descendant, the Florida Northern. Swinging south and toward the coast, our last stop is Dunnellon. Skirting the Rainbow River, Dunnellon was a junction of the ACL AR double-track main to Vitus and the Perry Cutoff to Thomasville, Georgia. The depot is now a community center, but that design is unmistakable, the same one found in Folkestone, Ludowici, and Dade City. On the AR line in Dunnellon, Florida, this is Danny Harmon, out.